Now, Tony, you play a really good bad guy.
Thank you.
I'm used to seeing you in like dramatic or comedic roles. So what was
Mhm.
it like playing the villain?
I love it. I don't know what that says about me, but I really love it. I love it because I don't think he sees himself as bad. He sees himself as investing a lot of money in this company. His employees are idiots. They're making two-headed sheeps. They're just like not getting it right. And so he sees Clifford as an opportunity and he wants to exploit it. So in his mind, he's like saving his company, but obviously his motives are all wrong. But I love playing evil because that equation never works out. It always spirals out. And so I love showing that process, and obviously the other side of it is being empathetic and supporting and celebrating differences. That's the equation that wins out. So I love that contrast.
Who's something that, adult viewers can learn from this character? Because I think he's all of us on our worst day.
Totally. And I love that you said that because it's absolutely in all of us. And I do think it is that example of, well, I think as a whole, the movie, I'm really excited about the message of this movie because there's a scene in the movie where Emily Elizabeth, who Darby Camp plays, she's holding Clifford as a little dog. And they're both in situations where they're feeling kind of different and kind of outcasts. And it's her love that makes Clifford grow. And I feel like in today's society, especially with social media and stuff, we're just breaking each other down. There's a lot of criticism, there's a lot of judgment. But when there is a celebration of differences, when there is reaching across the aisle, when there is supporting and loving, that is where growth is going to happen. And yes, this is children's programming, but I think it's a message that a lot of adults need to tune into. And my character, I think when approaching a character, if I just kind of played the idea of an evil person, I think it would kind of come off kind of flat. But the fact is, like, he sees himself as he's just desperately he rationalizes, I'm just trying to save my company, but I don't think, to your point, I don't think he sees anything wrong with it. So I think it's just trying to kind of find that humanity in him of like, there's just a very unhealthy desperation.
Well, I think that's so powerful too, finding humanity in even people that we don't
Yeah,
love.
totally. And also, if we're honest with ourselves, like any character I play, I have to resonate with something in the character in order to hopefully bring an authentic version of it. Because if I'm honest, the people that I can't stand, like I can think of a couple of people in my life that I'm not a huge fan of. And like, what do I think? Maybe I think they're kind of manipulative, or I think that they're kind of full of themselves or something. If I'm honest with myself, I've been manipulative in my day. Had times where I'm kind of full of myself. So I think what that does is it builds bridges and says, you know what, if I'm honest, I just see that in myself. And I think that's where you can kind of, the judgment's dropped because we can see ourselves in each person. So I can see parts of myself in this character, which is I'm not proud of, but that's the way to kind of connect with a character somewhat.
We're all complicated.
Very complicated.
So
Clifford's complicated. No.
Clifford is complicated. He really is. And I mean, this
Yes.
was written in the 60s, though. And so, what I
Yeah.
love so much is that it is still alive today. So, what do you think is the
Totally.
secret to Clifford's staying power?
Yeah, I think the one thing I love about Clifford is just this kind of very quote abnormal situation put into a quote normal situation. And everybody's reaction to this abnormal situation. Some people embrace it, some people are turned off by it. But it's the embracing of that uniqueness that kind of is, not to say it again, is kind of the better equation. Um, and to not judge that uniqueness. And everybody relates to that. Everybody relates to that. I don't care how cookie cutter somebody looks. Everybody has kind of felt as the outsider at points. Everybody has had moments where they might not be deemed bullied, but they definitely didn't feel accepted. And so this dog who is literally bright red and 10 feet tall in the middle of the world, he could not be more of an outsider. He could not look more unique. And so everybody has some sort of connection to that. I think that's probably a part of the longevity of the story.
There are so many beautiful themes. You talked about acceptance, there's unconditional love. In a way, there's
Hmm.
even forgiveness. And so, why is
Hmm.
it so important, especially for kids? Like, I got to watch this movie with my 3-year-old son. And
Oh,
talk about the importance of kids learning these things and seeing this on the big screen.
yeah, and that, I mean, that one scene where Darby is in school and there's that kind of that she's kind of being bullied and stuff like that. I think when you see it's interesting when you see a scene acted out and you have that response of, oh my gosh, don't do that, that poor thing, don't, like, it is an example of saying, okay, then I don't want to go to school and I don't want to be that to somebody, or I don't, because I know how I'm feeling watching this played out, so I don't want to make somebody else feel like that. I think there's a lot of power to that, you know. And so even Clifford, there's a the scene that breaks my heart is when he tries to make himself small to
Yes,
fit in.
yes.
It's like that breaks my heart, because what you want to do is be like, no, own it, own your uniqueness. And so when kids see that and they go, hey, I want Clifford to own his uniqueness, you know what, maybe I should begin owning my uniqueness. I think that parallel is really big.
Have you been encouraged with the way society is sort of trending, though? Do you see that there is, especially among kids, sort of this push for more acceptance in the world is just a little bit kinder?
I do. I think there is a definite push. I think that, I guess I mentioned social media again is because I think it's a platform that is very dangerous, because there's a lot of people can kind of be anonymous and break people down. So it's like, yeah, on the outside, they might go their regular lives and be kind, which is wonderful. But in behind closed doors, they can kind of, everybody can kind of, there's a lot of comments and ripping apart through social media that they don't feel is necessarily as powerful. But I think words are very, very powerful. And these kids that are being raised in this social media thing, I think that's kind of dangerous ground. So that's where I think hopefully there's going to be more change.
What advice would you have for parents to raise kids who are really kind and love others
Hmm.
well?
There's a lot of advice, but I think it's there's a lot of power, even though you might not see the fruit of that in your day. Never underestimate the power of it. So when you are kind to someone, when you do the right thing, you might not see the result of where that goes. You might not see the path where that leads, but never underestimate the power of that. I remember people that were kind to me when I was younger. I remember people that supported me, and honestly, they might never have seen where that went, but it made a huge difference in my life. And so even if you don't see the result, tremendous power where that goes.
So, Tony, ultimately, what do you hope big viewers and little viewers take away from this movie?
I mean, there's a lot of things. Like having a 3-year-old, family entertainment to experience something with your kid that you can all enjoy. You think there's a lot out there, but we're all really hungry for it. You just to have that family experience. And um, that's one of them. It's a big one. Also, visually, these special effects, I'm baffled by it. There's a scene where Clifford runs through the streets of New York. I don't even know how they do something like that. I mean, I know what I saw. We saw this kind of big red puppet that we reacted off of, and it was very large, and it kind of helped the scope of Clifford. So I mean, I know what we saw, but it's like I see the screen, I'm like, I don't even get it. It baffles me. So it's such eye candy. It's beautiful. And then obviously the message of just, and it's funny that I'm a huge John Cleese fan who was in Monty Python. I grew up with him. I had really hard time not fanboying over him when I met him, and like David Allen Greer and Keenan Thompson, and there's so many fun people in it.
Mhm.
This young actress Darby Camp, she's fantastic. It's this kid. She not only is she a good actress, but like she's connecting to things that she can't see in the moment. Like that's pretty advanced, and so I really admire that, and also that beautiful message of kind of acceptance and celebrating differences. I don't think that message ever gets old, honestly.
So, any more bad guys in your future?
Oh, I hope so.
Thing
I
now,
love the level.
villain?
I love the I love playing it. I love showing the dark side. It's fun. Really fun.